With the auction over, all 1,000 lots have found new homes. But to see them for yourself, you might need a passport.
So here we are a couple of months after the auction. We've gathered some of our spoils of war together and managed to get some of the guys together who were there bidding in the action. Some amazing pieces. It's just a handful of them that we got on display today.
One of my key pieces which has come back with me, which I was mildly happy about getting, was the Reliant here, a little baby. I was sure she was just going to escape and I wasn't going to get her, but managed to get her, and she's back here with us now, back home and safe.
The whole thing was amazing, the auctioning off all these pieces, Paramount, and just had a brilliant time.
You know, with all collecting, things are worth what they are worth to the individual who wants them.
Behind me I have my crate that came with all the goods from the Christie's auction, and having it sent over the Atlantic, and it's finally here. We have to find the guns.
If you want something, I know the passion of collecting. I know it. I know when my stomach starts to knot and tighten when I look at something and think, I want that.
Behind me is our ship that we were able to purchase at Christie's. It's the Karima class starship from an episode of Deep Space Nine. Considering that I paid for
earpieces, and I think that was touched my heart, because every time I see it I think healing frequencies open. You know.
I've been fencing, or involved with fencing, practically my whole life, and it started because of Star Trek. And this is Jean-Luc Picard's fencing outfit. And when it was up for auction, said, have to have this. Well, actually I said it was for my brother, but he's not getting it.
I'm kind of glad this sort of happened, so that people who really wanted to have something from the show, and I'm sure that they looked and thought, what is the most meaningful thing to me? And that they got something meaningful. If they got something that they prized, you know, we don't often get that in life.
Hi, I'm Giles. This is my flat in London. This is also my uniform that I bought from Christie's Star Trek auction. And this is the other uniform I bought. It's the Viceroy uniform from the movie Nemesis.
I'm never going to put on a Star Trek suit again, that's for sure. I do have one. I have the studio, several years ago, actually, Rick Berman arranged to present me with one of the last of the captain's suits that I wore. So that's stored away.
This is the one I was looking for. Yes, this is the Captain Picard jacket from the first season. Pretty cool, pretty cool.
My desk was up for sale, and I looked at the catalogue before the auction, and I was, for a moment, very, very brief moment, I was tempted. I thought, wouldn't that be fun to have my desk again and have it always there? And then I thought, well, no, it's not a desk, it's just a prop. It's a piece of, you know, constructed furniture.
So this is my Star Trek room, and it covers all TV series. What we have down here is Data's Arm, which we got from the auction, if you have a look in there. Great, great piece to have. Okay, not only did I get the real Voyager from Christie's, but we also got an Enterprise C. I mean, to have a Voyager and Enterprise is fantastic. To have either one of them, I'd be pleased to have both. Happy guy.
The transporter is one of the things I would have just looked by, but the guy next to me just happened to say, you know, try this, everybody needs to do this at least once, and he's right, everybody needs to slide these slides, I think, who's ever watched the show. But of course I had to go home and record the real sound so I could play with the buttons and make it look official.
Bridge, we've got him. Sorry, Captain, we had no other choice.
Brings a little Star Trek home to you, just being able to do something like that.
3 years ago, I didn't even know your name. Today, I can't imagine a day without you.
Captain Janeway to the bridge.
When I look back, I have fond memories of working with the cast and crew. And some of my closest friends that I'm in contact with today are from Star Trek. which just goes to prove that when you travel the universe together, there's a good chance you'll form a bond for life.
I don't think you've lost a thing. And I think you've gained more than you realize. You're happy here. Happier than I've ever known you to be.
There's a sense that you're a member of the Star Trek family, for lack of a better word, and that you're responsible for a certain amount of Roddenberry's legacy and vision, and the relationships of the characters of the shows were very similar, and I think that the relationships of the actors were as well.
The happy memories that I had of that time, and they're largely really very positive, and you know, working with those guys, they taught me to be irreverent and to enjoy laughing.
I loved them all. You know, in the end, when I had to do all those scenes of saying goodbye to them, it was just hell. It was hell.
When I first took command of this post, all I wanted was to be somewhere else. Anywhere but here. But now, 5 years later, this has become my home, and you have become my family.
I enjoyed the crew immensely. I enjoyed, you know, working with very, very talented people. I enjoyed the writing. And the writing was very intelligent. I laughed every day.
I feel very blessed in that my professional colleagues have become, over the years, good personal friends. And, you know, some of them we've lost. Jimmy Doom was a particularly dear friend. I used to call him my favorite drinking buddy.
And in this derivative, mixed with alcohol, it merely deadens certain nerve inputs to the brain.
Oh, well, any decent blend of scotch will do that.
Oh, the irascible Jimmy Doohan, Scotty. You know, he was always blowing off and then coming back and hugging, you know, so you kind of got used to him being that kind of way.
DeForest Kelley was a very sweet man, a very courtly gentleman of the old school.
DeForest Kelley, I loved him very, very much.
By golly, Jim, I'm beginning to think I can cure a rainy day. Can you help? Helped it? I cured it.
I wish that Gene could have, you know, lived another 20 years and seen how his legacy has grown and grown and grown in this way.
In the period of time that I was dealing with the 4 series that I worked on, we produced 620-something hours of television, which is a lot of television. And I think the fact that the franchise is taking a bit of a rest now is going to be good for it.
I think people will be always looking to see if it can't be, you know, sparked into life again, because as I've said before, the issues, the stories that it has are for all time.
We can't be afraid of the wind, Ensign. Take us to Warp 4.
And for the foreseeable future, the original, the classic series, Next Generation, Voyager, Deep Space Nine, Enterprise, there will go on screening too.
This isn't the end.
You say that with remarkable assuredness. I don't know, maybe if things don't really work out for me, I could, you know, like Brent used to say, we can always put our suits on and we can do bar mitzvahs and, you know, birthday parties and things.
These are the voyages of the starship Enterprise. Its 5-year mission, to explore strange new worlds, to seek out new life and new civilizations, to boldly go where no man has gone before.
Star Trek will live on, that much is certain. In the coming years, a whole new generation of fans will be exposed to the adventures that have kept us coming back for more over and over again. As for future Star Trek stories, they will come. After all, a show that brought so much hope and entertainment can't stay down for long.